Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to this installment of Diecast Emporium. We're going to do something totally different in this video, so hopefully the kind of diversity and variety of my videos lately have attracted more viewers. But today we're going to look at some things that I found during the move that I forgot that I had, and these were one of my favorite collections as a schoolboy. So we're going to take a look at the Matchbox Across America 50th Edition Birthday Series. Now, these cars came out in 2002, and each of them celebrated each of the 50 states here in America, and there was also a couple special editions released, of which I have two of them that we'll take a look at here in a minute. But from back to front, the first one, as you can see here, is the Hawaii. This is a Jeep Wrangler. A nice casting. I like that greenish yellow. And each of these came with a little mini license plate. So you could have collected those and kind of chained them together. So there's number 50, Hawaii. Let's see here. Here's 49, Alaska. And of course the numbers obviously correlate for when the states, joined. So obviously going back to front will be most recent to oldest. Here's Alaska. This was the Snow Doctor, casting first released by Matchbox in 2001 in the mainline series. I love it because it kind of resembles a half-track. Here's number 48, Arizona. It's a Isuzu Rodeo. Nice paint there. I like those wheels as well. And obviously the license plate is very nice. How about number 47, New Mexico? This is a Ford Expedition Police. Not sure I like this combination of colors, that like orange plastic with the white metal. Never was really one of my favorites. See what else we got. 46, Oklahoma. This is a cattle truck. And actually, this is an old Dodge front end. I'm not sure how well my camera will pick it up, but even on the front, you can make out Dodge embossed in the casting there. I loved this because it had the obviously the cattle in the back of the state bed and a trailer hitch on it. Number 45, one of my favorites because I loved this truck in the early 2000s when I was a boy. This was what I had envisioned in my fantasy world of being my first car when I turned 16, Ford Explorer Sport Trac. Obviously, when you're younger, you have no concept of money, and I couldn't afford this when I was 16. But this is for Utah. Great truck. Number 44, Wyoming. A nice camper with Buffalo Bill on it. You can see there on the top. I always loved these kind of wheels. They reminded me of more of a realistic hubcap or wheel that you would see on the front of a semi-truck. $43. Already lost track of what number we're on. For Idaho, Chevrolet Suburban. $42, an ambulance for Washington State. Very nice piece. How about a Ford Bronco for Montana? Number 41. I'm sure there's an OJ joke in here somewhere, but hopefully for my older viewers, you got a chuckle out of that. The younger ones that are watching this have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay. Number 40, South Dakota, Jeep Wrangler. Like that green paint. Also loved the kind of the cargo holster that they have on here. You can't really see it due to the terrible lighting, but there is a cargo net on there, if you will. This is an appropriate vehicle for the state. North Dakota, the highway maintenance truck. Love that paint combo. That purple or blue and orange pops and looks awesome. And you have your snowplow on the front, Salter on the back. Colorado, another appropriate vehicle, the snowmobile. $37 for Nebraska, the Ford F-Series dump truck. Another one of my favorite early 2000s Matchbox castings. Loved this piece. Always wish this would have made it into the Matchbox Premier line because I would have loved to have had a more realistic depiction of this vehicle made by Matchbox. 36 for Nevada, kind of makes sense. Obviously for Las Vegas, an international armored car. So I assume with Las Vegas and the casino, that's the correlation there. West Virginia, Jeep Grand Cherokee with the Raft up on top. A rigid hull inflatable boat. Almost through the first box. Let's see. 34 Kansas, another accurate truck, your weather radar truck for storm chasing during tornado season. 33 Oregon, Dennis Sabry Firetruck. Assuming the correlation there is wildfires. Minnesota, Ford F-Series Firetruck, again with the rigid hull inflatable Raft that you saw on the vehicle just before. 31 California, a nice 1955 Chevy Bel Air. Paying homage, of course, to California being very much a car state. Cruising up and down the boulevard. 30, how about this? A Wisconsin Peterbilt tanker. Obviously from the land of dairy and cheese from Wisconsin. That was a really bad Wisconsin impression, but that's okay. I love people from Wisconsin. Very, very nice. Everybody I've ever met from there is extremely nice and loves cheese. Iowa, 29, the Mercedes-Benz Trac 1600 Turbo tractor. Not really any mystery why a tractor was chosen for Iowa. Another one of my favorites. I like that it was kind of the green and yellow, so it sort of simulates, John Deere colors, and I really like what they did. Last three in the first box, which means we're just about halfway through. Number 28, Texas, Dodge Dakota for your truck on the range. 27, Florida, a Chevrolet Camaro SS. 27, convertible. One of my biggest gripes about Matchbox, even when I was a kid, was the lack of tampos for the headlights and taillights. It really would have been so simple to mass produce those, and it would have added a lot to each of these pieces. But again, these are toys predominantly marketed towards children. 26, Michigan, another perfect casting, and one of my favorites, 1921 Ford Model T. Obviously, Michigan, the birthplace of the automobile, Detroit specifically, with Ford, GM, and Mopar. All right, so that's box number 1. Moving on. We'll take a break, and I'll show you the couple special editions I said I had. Here's Puerto Rico, Volkswagen Beetle, which was obviously not part of the 50th collection, but it was just rather a special edition for Puerto Rico. Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. Pretty cool. And this was an exclusive Toys R Us, if you can see right in here. Exclusive R Us 3-pack. And yes, these are available in singles, but the top one is Mexico, and it is a Land Rover 90, with the Mexico plate, which I thought was very cool. So I picked that up. Returning to the state vehicles, here's our Mack auxiliary power truck for Arkansas. Some nice tampos on there as well. Good truck. 24, Missouri, for the Show Me state. So they got Show Me News tampoed on here for the TV news fan, which I love. Maine has your 1956 Ford pickup truck, and the tampo here is Lobster. Whoops. There goes the phone. All right. 22, Alabama, Airport fire pumper. There we go. Starting to get buried here in cars. So if the phone gets knocked over again, I apologize, guys. I kind of pulled a die-cast construction expert on you. So shout out to my man over there at S&S Enterprises. All right, 21. Still to this day one of my all-time favorite Matchbox castings, the International Fire Pumper. I loved this truck when it came out in the late 90s in the main line. So there you go there. Number 20 for Mississippi, the extending ladder fire truck. Now this wasn't really based on any real aerial ladder truck, rear mount aerial ladder truck, but it was one of the few 3-axle ladder trucks produced by Matchbox. How about Indiana? So if it couldn't be an Indy car, which I don't know why they didn't do that, they had the Chevy Corvette, which was the vehicle that paced the Indianapolis 500 the most times in its history. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Louisiana, Raft boat with trailer. This you could hook up to any of your other Matchbox cars that had, your trailer hitch on the back, and the boat came off. Nice fun toy for the little ones to play with in the bathtub. I live in Ohio, so I find this really, really funny that the Ohio car is the Ford Crown Victoria police car, and I will I will reserve that to myself as to why that's very appropriate and funny. Although any of you who have driven through Ohio might be able to get the subtlety of that. 16, Tennessee, the Nissan Xterra. Great paint finish. That gold color, gold or bronze color, whatever you want to call it. And by the way, I'm in law enforcement, so I can make law enforcement jokes. You guys can't. All right, number 15. For Kentucky, the pony trailer. Another nice trailer option. I always loved the trailers that Matchbox came out with. Really added a lot to your cars when you had things to hook them up to. This ramp came down so you can put your horses in, or cattle that came in the cattle truck I showed you earlier. Nice piece there for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Number 14, Vermont, Land Rover Discovery. I remember for whatever reason, this was one of the harder pieces to find when I was collecting these as a kid. There was many a trip to the store that resulted in me coming home empty-handed looking for just this one. Number 13, Rhode Island, another Land Rover, this one the Freelander. There you go. Getting there, guys. Down to the final 10. Well, final 12, I should say, if I can count. From North Carolina, the Snorkel fire truck. Again, with the state motto being first in flight, why this is a fire truck and not an aircraft of some kind, couldn't tell you. Born and raised in New York, so obviously this one has a special place in my heart. The tow truck, or Tow King, I believe it was called, number 11, with the newer style, well, early 2000s style license plate. It was new when these came out. 10, the Virginia Chevrolet Impala Police. Has some nice Canon graphics up here, and also has Blue Ridge right back here behind the rear wheels. Some nice tampos. And a nice yellow beacon light, V-shaped light up on top. Never seen a police car with yellow lights, but hey, again, keep in mind these are meant to be toys. All right, number 9, New Hampshire Chevrolet Camaro police car. A lot of police cars in this set. So there's that one. Number 8, from South Carolina, the golf cart. Smiling faces, beautiful places. There you go. From Maryland, number 7, the crabbing boat. No shock there. Big part of their industry up there is fishing. How about Massachusetts? 1962 Volkswagen Beetle, number 6. Number 5, Mercedes-Benz ML 430, Connecticut, the Constitution State. Got Again, with some sharp graphics of the gentleman there with the Constitution. Number 4, Georgia, the Volkswagen panel transporter with peaches all over it. Again, that makes sense, as Georgia is the peach state. Down to the last 3, guys. Number 3, New Jersey, the Garden State. Here's your coach, your bus. This piece has been around for a long, long time. Number 2, Pennsylvania, Chevrolet Tahoe Police. It has Benjamin Electric for its tampos and detail. Nice touch. Last but not least, the first state, number 1, Delaware, the Concept 1 Beetle. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. These were one of my favorite things to collect, like I said at the beginning of the video, when I was younger, to celebrate Matchbox 50th anniversary. Very, very cool set. If you have the opportunity to pick these up, even if you have to find them individually, I would recommend doing so. They're a nice collector piece, and overall a very nice set. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.